in this particular case, you told us that what? You spent, what, 40 hours talking to the defendant?
44.
44 hours, so that's the clinical interview aspect of it, correct?
I used that as that is the clinical interview that I did, right?
Yes or no? That is the clinical aspect of your practice, correct?
It is a clinical aspect of my practice. Correct.
And in this case, the 44 hours, that's the clinical aspect of this evaluation, right?
I'm not sure what you mean by the clinical aspect.
Well, a clinical interview, as you know what a clinical interview is, right?
Of course I know what a clinical interview
All right,
is.
then we seem to be having problems with it. With regard to a clinical interview, ma'am, isn't that a situation where you sit across from an individual and you talk to them about the issue that is at hand? Isn't that true?
You interview them, you ask questions, you do an assessment.
So when you are interviewing, you're not talking then, right?
Mr. Martinez,
Yes or no? My question is, are you talking, yes or no?
Mr. Martinez, are you angry at me?
Ma'am, is that relevant to you? Is that important to you?
Ladies and gentlemen, please refrain from laughing in the courtroom.
Is that important to you whether or not the prosecutor is angry to you with regard to your evaluation? Does that make any difference to your evaluation whether or not the prosecutor is angry? Yes or no?
Objection, Judge. Comment question.
It makes a difference to me the way I'm spoken to, and I would like you to speak to me the way I speak to you.
Ma'am, is it true that just because the prosecutor is angry at you, is that going to make you change your answer with regard to whether or not this is a battering situation?
No, certainly not.
The fact that the prosecutor may or may not, or you may perceive him as being angry, that really has nothing to do with your evaluation, does it?
No, but it certainly is.
Yes or no? Does it have anything to do with your evaluation? And judge, say yes or no answer.
Judge, she's trying to answer the question. Some of these questions cannot be answered by yes or no.
Ms. LaViolette, can you answer that question, yes or no?
I'm not sure at this point what the question is, because when someone is approaching in that way, it's very hard to listen.
All right. Restate your question.
Just because somebody has a demeanor that you perceive to be angry, is that going to sway your opinion as to what you think in this case?
No, it isn't.
Is it going to change anything about your evaluation based on the way the questions are asked?
No.
If you want to do you want to spar with me? Will that affect the way you view your testimony?
Sustained.
We approach, Your Honor.
Yes.